Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media. The cicadas hummed in the humid summer air. The scent of household trash, amplified by the heat of the day, wafted on the breeze as the bear peered into the twilight. From the wild palmetto bushes, he watched the garage door clang and whir, then stop. No one left the open bay, and no dog came rushing out to harass him. The open garage door allowed an even stronger scent from the garbage can to entice the bear to investigate it further. Approaching the opening, the bear peered into the dark corners of the garage before following his nose to the trash can. Inside the home, small dog paws patted their way across the tile floor as an older woman relaxed into her favorite chair. She remembered she'd forgotten to close the garage door moments earlier and reached for the remote. The hum of the electric motor was broken by a series of bangs and bonks coming from inside the garage. Approaching the garage man door carefully, the elderly woman slowly cracked it open to see what was going on. In the dim light, she could see a very large black shape moving, then turning toward her. Terrified by the sight, she turned and began yelling, "There's a bear in the house! There's a bear in the house!" Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. DeLand is a town about 40 miles northeast of Orlando, in part of Central Florida's transitional landscape, where suburban homes are scattered among hardwood hammocks, wetlands, and pine flat woods. The climate in mid-September is sweltering and damp, with late afternoon thunderstorms and muggy nights. Southern live oaks draped in Spanish moss form shaded canopies, while saw palmetto and wax myrtle fill the understory, and clusters of beautyberry bushes brighten the edges of yards and fence rows with their violet fruit. The environment still provides habitat for a variety of animals, though housing developments continue to press outward. White-tailed deer browse quietly in the dawn, while feral hogs turn up lawns and ditches. Coyotes have expanded into the area, and bobcats slink along fence rows, rarely seen, but often leaving tracks in sandy soil. Black bears, once reduced to low numbers in the state, now roam again in growing numbers. Their search for food frequently brings them into uneasy contact with humans. On September 19, 2025, 40-year-old homeowner Zeke Clark and his wife, whom we'll call Beth, had spent the evening with Zeke's mother-in-law, whom we'll call Liz. Clark, like many Floridians living near the edge of wooded tracts, was familiar with the possibility of bears sniffing around trash cans or bird feeders. He did not have bear spray on hand, nor did he expect to need it in his own home. A firearm, however, was accessible. His dogs provided an early warning system, barking whenever wildlife approached the house, and often at nothing at all. On this particular night, their alarm turned out to be justified. Black bear encounters in Florida have a long and complicated history. In the 19th century, bears were so common that farmers and hunters considered them nuisances, often killing them to protect crops and livestock. By the mid-20th century, habitat loss and unregulated hunting had driven Florida's bear population to dangerously low levels. In Volusia County, where DeLand is located, bears were scarce by the 1970s. Conservation measures, hunting bans, and habitat protections slowly reversed the decline. By the 2000s, black bears were returning in noticeable numbers, particularly in the Ocala National Forest and surrounding areas. Conflicts with humans grew alongside their recovery. In 2014, the state recorded a spike in nuisance reports as bears rummaged through trash and broke into garages in search of food. A controversial limited bear hunt was authorized in 2015, but was cut short after hundreds of animals were killed in just 2 days. Since then, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has emphasized coexistence strategies, including secure garbage can containers and community education. Environmental pressures, such as periodic mast failures in acorn crops, droughts that reduce natural foods, and sprawling development, have only intensified bear-human interactions. Reports of bears entering porches, rummaging in freezers, or opening car doors make headlines nearly every year. Still, an outright home invasion like the one in DeLand stands out as an extreme and unsettling escalation of that trend. Now locked inside the garage, the bear panicked and began to knock shelves and items over as it searched for a way out. As it clawed and pummeled the walls, it came to the man door, which led into the home. Several blows from the bear's paws sent the door swinging open, and the dogs and people inside into a frenzy. After peering through the cracked door, Liz turned and began yelling to Zack about the bear. She had no more than turned toward the living room as the bear thundered through the door and down the hall past her. It took shelter in the first open door it could find, the bathroom, and jumped into the bathtub, just to be as far away from the confusion as possible. By now the commotion had roused Zack from his relaxation. He ran into the living room and glanced down the hallway to see the bear still hiding in the bathtub. Taking the opportunity to isolate it, he closed the door and went to fetch his gun. Now before you get all upset at Zack, keep in mind that his wife and mother-in-law were in the home with the frightened bear. The possibility and even tendency of a bear to react aggressively out of defense for itself is extreme in a situation like this. Most bears who are caught in the act of a home invasion, either by the homeowner or wildlife officers, are ultimately, if not immediately, killed to avoid a repeat incident. Now armed, Zack slowly opened the bathroom door and pointed the firearm in the bear's direction. Just after the bear lunged toward him, he pulled the trigger, quickly shutting the bathroom door to keep the now wounded bear from leaving. Zack wasn't sure where he'd hit the bear with the shot, but hoped he would hear a death moan soon. After listening to the bear move around for a few minutes, the man opened the door slowly, which caught the attention of the bear. Again, it lunged toward him and managed to catch the door before Zack could close it this time. Backing into the narrow hallway, Zack fired the gun twice more. His dogs were now in a full-on fit as the bear was in its death throes. The bathroom was covered with blood and hair from the bear as Zack worked to roll the bear's carcass onto a tarp in the confines of the bathroom. By the time wildlife officials arrived on scene, the bear's carcass had been pulled from the home. They observed the splintered doors and door frames and claw marks throughout the home and determined that Zack's account of events was truthful. They determined that killing the bear was necessary to protect Zack and his family. The wildlife officers would have been required to euthanize the bear, even if it had survived, due to its entering a human dwelling. The authorities examined the bear's carcass and determined it was a large adult black bear, but its sex and precise weight haven't been released to the public yet. They are testing the carcass for various diseases and assessing its condition and health. As for the bear's motives for entering the garage and home, it was attracted into the garage by the scent of garbage. Once it was trapped by the garage door closing behind it, it went into a terrified state, which led it to flee the garage and enter the house. Its intrusion appeared motivated by food-seeking instincts, heightened in autumn when bears instinctively consume massive amounts of calories in preparation for winter denning. The bear was not acting in defense of a cached animal carcass, nor was it protecting its cubs from a perceived threat. Speaking of cubs, our Cub Tier membership on Patreon, link below, will give you ad-free early access to episodes, photos, and notes. And the $3 per month goes a long way in helping me continue to produce educational and entertaining content like this. Florida's black bear population has rebounded to an estimated 4,000 animals statewide, with the Central Bear Management Unit covering Volusia, Lake, and Marion counties, holding one of the largest concentrations. Volusia County itself spans just over 1,400 square miles, giving the region an average density of about 3 bears per square mile. Conflicts are most common in residential zones that border the Ocala National Forest or other forested tracts. Statewide bear-related nuisance calls number in the thousands annually, but actual home invasions remain exceedingly rare. Fatal bear attacks in Florida are virtually unheard of, though close calls, such as the DeLand incident, underscore the risks when food attractants are left unsecured or when wild animals lose their natural fear of humans. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. Would you expect a bear to enter your garage after you left the door open momentarily? What measures should be taken to reduce home invasions by bears in areas with dense populations? Are home occupants responsible for the safety of their home in bear country, or does the government carry some responsibility? I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.